religious community would be my church, and I like them. They're very open, and not all of them though. But majority of them are very open. They believe in what they believe in, but they don't try to push anything, to the point of, annoyance or anything. They're very open, and my dad is very open too. He's my religious community. That's where I derive from, like my faith derived from his, and he always told me that I believe what I believe. I can doubt if I want to, and that's made me, the person who I am too, because hold on, okay, without him saying that, I wouldn't feel the freedom I feel, like, to believe in what I believe in. So mainly my community is very, lenient, I guess I would say, and yeah.
Well, my favorite place is like 3 or 4 statues in our living room, and every night they pray to that. Usually Buddhist people, they attend temples and gatherings, but I have never personally been to one.
At first it was very uncomfortable because of what I was chosen to be, whatever. But now it's like loner in my house. Everybody else is Catholic.
Alright, well, I mean, I go to church and it's really neat because it's like a whole kind of network of support and like a family, and even in my youth group, there's a lot of other teens there who have the same beliefs and are going through the same stuff that I do, and it's just a really great place because you always have people supporting you and who care about you and want to know, what's going on, and there to help you.
I don't have a religious community, and I've never been involved in that.
A religious community. Well, I have to say, when we went, they were very friendly. I actually made friends with the head priest. It was really cool, and I made a lot of friends, and personally I thought it was a lot of fun. I wish I could go back, just to get in touch with my old friends again.
Okay, for my religious community, for the most part, I don't go to the mosque very often because the last prophet said that women should not go to the mosque. And for the most part, at least family-wise, I don't have a lot of family here, but we do have a lot of Muslim community, and we mostly spend time together in the sense of Ramadan and during the time of the first Islamic month and things like that. I mean, I honestly don't have a very large community religiously wise, and yeah.
My mom is definitely one of the most Jewish people that I know, and I always ask her about questions involving Judaism. So she is my role model for Judaism, and I want to have a Jewish life just like her and raise Jewish children just like her, because she's the one that's introduced me to this and that's gotten me into this, and she's the one that I look up to.
This is going to sound really egotistical. I look up to myself because because I think the standards that I've set for myself are pretty, I'm not going to go do something crazy and go shoot a bunch of people, but I'm not going to restrict myself in such a way that I'll feel uncomfortable. So actually I think a good person to look up to is the Buddha, even though I'm not Buddhist. Well, could be, I don't know actually, but just because he's always seems so tranquil and so calm, and that's just something that every person should have in their life, because everything's so fast-paced, especially because we get things instantly, so there's just a time where you need to sit down and calm yourself.
I look up to my father. He is an agnostic as well, and he he is actually taking classes on the Bible. He's read it a couple of times. So whenever he has an argument against Christianity or Judaism, he usually has facts to back it up.
So one person who I look up to, it's again sort of based on a ton of discipleship kind of stuff, I look up to my dad a lot. He's really shown me, teaches me, I mean, what dad doesn't teach his child stuff, what loving dad doesn't. But basically, I mean, he's a role model in how I should act, and even when he does something wrong, I mean, he can still tells me and apologizes to whoever he wronged, and he tries to fix it by sort of resolving it, still retaining a good connection with the person that sort of has turned their relationship out. Thanks, dude. Yeah, but basically as a child, it's sort of important to actually teach your child what he or she should be doing and how he should act well. And yeah, my dad's done that for me.
I look up to Jesus. He's, even though he is seen as a prophet, I still think that he is the best religious figure there is. I look up to him by reading the Bible and recognizing the things he did and seeing all the things that he did for us, and I cannot believe in other things. Like my friends sometimes they're like, "Oh my gosh, Chuck Norris," and I get kind of offended sometimes, and they're like, "Chuck Norris is the best, and he's the only God there is," and I'm like, So yeah, I look up to Jesus and everything he did. He sacrificed himself for us, and I want to keep a promise to God in other ways too.
The director of the religious school last year, he's now gone on to become a rabbi, but I worked as his secretary last year, and he was wonderful at bringing together the Jewish community and really exemplifying the Jewish mores and different things that we represent in his own life. And I think he was really an inspiration, especially for the younger population, because he was so cool and so relatable, but he did manage to incorporate Judaism into his life. So.
I actually do have someone that I'm looking up to. Actually, originally it was my grandpa. It wasn't that I wanted to be Muslim, it was just, he's really religious, and he's calm about every religion because he's accepting everything the way it is. And Christianity-wise, I do have someone that I'm looking up to right now, and that's a really good friend of mine who originally invited me to go to church. I look up to him because his parents are never with him when he's going to church. He does it on his own, which I think is really admirable. He spends pretty much his entire Sunday going to church. And he even goes to Bible studies in the morning, and it's just really inspiring.
Granddad, because he's a very religious man, and he goes to church a lot. But plus he also tells me about how he grew up and
well, I do look up to people at my church and my friends for their religious beliefs, but there's not just one single person that I believe in the most.
I don't know if I necessarily look up to him, but the person who has influenced my beliefs right now the most would be my older brother. He also went to St. Agnes, and now I'm pretty sure he's agnostic. He believes in something, but not necessarily what he grew up learning. I don't think he believes in an organized religion. And I have the same beliefs, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, he and I share very similar beliefs. sometimes he has these little conspiracies about aliens. I'm not sure if he's kidding or not. I actually don't think he is, but then sometimes he does believe it. It's dumb, in my opinion, but who am I to judge? So never mind, erase that. I look up to him because he's my older brother, but I don't necessarily look up to him for my religious beliefs.
I look up to my stepmom because she's a big influence on why I decided to become Catholic, because she feels very strongly about being Catholic and the beliefs, and she teaches CCD, which I think is really cool, and she's just so sure of what she does in like religion and just in life that I just think it's really amazing, and I really look up to her.
I don't really look up to anyone for my religious beliefs. Really, I believe that the belief is that of an individual. It's not really something you can learn from other people. It's from something that you get from your own experiences.
Honestly, I have friends who are really strong in their faith, and just talking to them about it sometimes helps.
There really isn't anyone, I don't think, who has my same beliefs, which is kind of like, I guess, part of being a Unitarian Universalist is that like your beliefs are very much your own, and I guess the closest thing that I could say is I believe I believe in what my church does in the sense of its tolerance and its acceptance of people, and I believe that that's a great thing, and you know, my church is very much like a love promoter, which is awesome. So yeah.
The thing about me is that I always try to find the good in people, and I feel like anyone could be my model for religious belief. Because if someone has a point, or if someone like truly believes in something, then I sort of become like more open to their beliefs too. But I mean, I still believe in what I believe, but I mean, I sort of look at their point of view, and then I begin to like wonder, like, yeah, they have a point. And so I sometimes I feel like anyone could be my religious belief if they have a good reason. And like if someone started just talking and about their religion, and you know, crying, and like have this belief and this like passion for it, I automatically like consider their belief to be my model, you know, because that's just how I am. I always like, I can feel people. I believe I can feel people and how they react to things, and if they react in like such a passionate form, like, or way, I how do you say it, like, I begin to want to know about why they're like this, you know. So yeah, I guess my answer is anyone.
Well, I look up to my mom a lot, and also my stepdad, because they're really passionate about what they believe in, and they strongly try to get me myself to get more serious about religion, but unfortunately they respect my distance from it, and as much as they want me to pray, it's just my fault.
He's an agnostic too, and I guess he kind of got me into that idea. And so did Green Day fans too, because of the way he says things, like the way he puts it out in his music.